Ramirez was drunk with his newfound fame. He even had groupies.
They ranged from nurses to dancers in exotic clubs, mothers, law students. I mean, it ran the gamut.
They were dressed in black, eagerly awaiting the moment when their idol would turn around and smile at them. One of them, Doreen Loy, was mesmerized.
I looked at him, I was captivated. I don't even know today what captivated me so much, but he just fascinated me, and that was it. I think from that moment I knew I was going to have some involvement with this person.
But his charisma didn't sway the jury. On September 20th, 1989, after 55 days of testimony and 165 witnesses, Richard Ramirez was found guilty.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Richard Ramirez, guilty of murder.
He was convicted of 67 felonies, including 14 murders. He was given 19 death sentences.
It's a big deal. Death always went with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland.
And Richard was placed on death row in San Quentin. But after his incarceration, Richard would shock the world again.
I just wanted to say I'm ecstatically happy today and very, very proud to have married Richard and to be his wife.
In 1996, he married Doreen Loy.
He's very sexy in my eyes. I just think he's a gorgeous person. And to me, he's as beautiful inside as he is outside.
It was a marriage made in prison.
During our wedding ceremony, the commissioner of marriage who performed the ceremony described our bands as an unbroken circle of love. And that describes us perfectly.
Ted Bundy, America's most notorious serial killer. Since his original capture in 1976, Bundy had become a media sensation.
I'll plead not guilty right now.
America was mesmerized by the former Boy Scout, college graduate, and law student, who as a rising young Republican was even a shining star in Washington state politics. Once he was arrested, Bundy taunted the system. After his arrest in Florida, he showboated, acting as his own counsel while rapt groupies devoured his every move.
He was like a movie star, and if he'd look around, they'd all giggle and nudge each other. And I thought, it never occurs to them that if he were free and he met them on a dark night, they're just the type of potential victim he would be looking for.
Outside the jail, a crowd estimated at 500 avidly awaiting news of his demise chanted slogans like, "Burn, Bundy, burn."
They ran electricity through his eyes. 4, 3, 2, 1.
At 7:16 a.m., an anonymous executioner pushed the button. 2,000 volts surged through Bundy's body. Within 60 seconds, one of the worst serial killers of all time was pronounced dead.
When we came out after the execution, it's almost a carnival atmosphere on the part of some of these people. Cheering, blowing of horns, celebration.
Stanley Milgram was a Yale University psychologist interested in the study of individuals in their social settings.
Before the study, the estimates from the professionals were that it would only be a very small number of sadistic individuals who would go so far as to deliver a lethal shot to another human being. Much less than 1%.
315 volts.
The reality was 65% of the participants went all the way and delivered 450 volts of potentially lethal electrical shock.
345 volts, 405 volts, 435 volts.
An important implication of the Milgram study is, if you want to know the face of evil, look in the mirror. Stanley Milgram attempted to answer a very fundamental question about the nature of good and evil. And I think one of the things that he showed us quite clearly was that anyone can be led to commit unspeakable acts.
I mean, who's going to take the responsibility if anything happens to that gentleman?
I'm responsible for anything.